everybody. We have about 200 to 350 people here in our worldwide headquarters in Plano, Texas. That's messing you up, isn't it? She's looking around. There's not 300 people in here. You got to visualize it, believe it. There's 300. I promise you, one day there will be 300. We got to tear that wall out one day. We're going to tear this wall out one day. No kidding. These are plans that my man Daniel has. No kidding. And so we're going to tear all this out. But today we're doing something a little different. By the way, my name is Paul Roberts. I am the CSO of We Partners. That stands for Chief Solution Officer. And my man Daniel Ng, he's the CRO. He's the Chief Reminding Officer of We Partners. No kidding, he just reminded me to tell y'all that I'm the CSO. That's how important his title is, because he just reminded me as I go all the way up, remind everybody you're the CSO. But we're doing something a little different today. Usually we come here, we call it Leadership Wednesdays, and we do all types of stuff that revolves around leadership stuff. We don't bring in free food, because I want you to be hungry for the training that we're doing. But today we have a special guest. I'm not going to invite her up, because I want her to invite someone else that's going to invite her. But we have a special guest today that I'm excited to hear from. She's a wealth of knowledge. I'm glad that y'all are here to learn from her. But before that, let's bring up Maritza so she can come up here and interview our encore, our heavy metal band. What's it called? You're the warm-up band, Maritza. You're going to introduce the band, right? So here we go. Y'all give it up for Maritza.
I get a clap for Paul because he always motivates us. So get a clap for him. Thank you so much, because I think God have a purpose for us. Good morning, anyway, because at some point connections, right? Daniel and I connect, and then I met Paul, and I think he's a very good influence for a lot of people, and it's going to be for generations, because we have to pass that word, right? And that about connections, Daniel introduced me with Natalie, which she's the one our guest today, and I would like to introduce her. She's from the Unicorn, Well Pack, and Panda Pack. So we are like too many packs and cracks. So I just welcome to Dallas, Texas, and it's hot in here, I know, but that's how she say address of like cool, and that's what we want. So, good morning, Natalie. Come to here to the stage, the biggest stage with 3,000 people. That's a vision. One day we will be like that, right? So, welcome to Texas. This is your people. This is your family. Panda Pack is a family, and it's a people, because Daniel is making sure we creating a culture in here and working together. And we help each other. Doesn't matter what teams, what groups, what organization we are work together. So welcome to that.
Thank you. I have one right.
Oh, you have one?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, this is for you. Have questions.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Maritza and Paul. My name is Natalie, as I shared, everybody shared that. Based in Chicago right now. I'm originally from Peru, but now Mexico is my second home. So I've been going back and forth to Mexico for 4 years, and EXP has allowed me to have that freedom of vacation in a way, and being able to be here as well. So probably we'll spend more time in Dallas, since we have now a team growing here really fast, and I'm super excited to get to know every person. And with the beauty of EXP, you can grow in a different state, in a different country, without even being there. So I'm super excited to be here. I haven't been in Dallas for probably 7 years or more, but I'm excited to share what I have today. I had to put some different slides together, because I think, is everybody from EXP here? Yes. No, not yet? Okay, so we'll share a little more about what we do, how we do it, why we do it too, because I'll share a little of my story and why am I back and forth in Mexico, because I love it there, and it's a beautiful beach, but also because of the ability to work remotely. So if you guys are into working remotely, or one day, having a team, or growing that way, that you don't have to be, tied to one location, this is kind of what Unicorn represents, for me at least. We have some stickers here if you guys want, and the more we go through the presentation, the more you get to know us and what we do. As Maritza mentioned, we are part of the WOPAC, which is a larger group within EXP, an organization, now partnering up with Panda Pack to We Partners. But I like to say Panda Pack because we're a lot of big animals, it's like an animal organization. Unicorn came from, I have a story about that. You guys can check my Instagram. I'll show you the QR code later too on how it came to be. is live since 2016, 17. And the whole purpose of it was like, how can you find unicorn properties around the world? You know, how can you find the unicorn life that you want to live? Sometimes we think that we have to follow a pattern or a path when you can just pretty much design the life that you love anytime. We're of course part of EXP as a large organization, and today we're going to talk about international real estate. How the tools that we have in EXP, you can leverage that to grow internationally and or to attract locally by sharing international experiences and tools. So yeah, you guys can ask questions throughout the presentation. I think I don't have a hardcore presentation. It's more about sharing tools so we can interact. You can tell me what's working for you. Probably you already are doing what we're doing, but maybe how we can track it better. I'm very much into analytics and data. And it's a little bit about me. I guess we can translate. I have this in Spanish. So I was just putting everything together from Spanish to English and from English to Spanish. But I share with you guys, I'm from Lima, Peru. I've been in the US for 20 years or so. When I came here, it was just to go to school. I was studying technology. I was IT and marketing is my background. And I've been in corporate for 1,000 years since I graduated in 2008. So I've been in Chicago for school, I stay and work. So I've been in the tech space since then. For my career, I was in the data analyst part of the world. I was incorporated. My last job was in the pharma industry, and that's the reason I left too, because there's some practices I don't support in that industry. But my work has always been like project management, data, technology, because that's what I did coming out of school, and that's what I'm applying to my business right now for real estate, because technology can be applied to anything. I've been 20 years in Chicago, as I share, and the last 4 years, and the reason I joined EXP was to be able to sell properties in Mexico. I live in the Riviera Maya, so it's a beautiful, I don't know if you guys live in Cancun area. It's amazing. I left because of the pandemic. I was with my sister, my mom, and I in Chicago, lockdown. My mom needs care full time. So when you cannot have a caregiver and you have to care for your parents, it becomes like very hectic really fast because, we're working, we're living at home, we're at that, my mom doesn't, needs care, we're, hustling with my sister to make it work. So in a intention to escape, we went to Mexico. And I've been in Mexico many times on vacation, but never to think about a move. Because I was like, well, I'm in Chicago, I'm not gonna, what am I gonna do in Mexico? I'm just only going there on vacation. And that was my mindset. So when we went to Mexico, we went there for 2-3 months. And the lockdown, it was not a lockdown there, but we were able to find a caregiver, and I'll share many pictures of that she was able to care for my mom with heart. So it was not like here that, I don't want to compare what people here work 40 hours, right? You do your job and you go home. In Mexico it was different. I felt like there was more of a soul. And that's why we went there, we stayed there, because my mom was cared for. We had an amazing place to live by the beach. We were not locked down in Chicago winters. And then when we were there, we're thinking like, oh my God, I love it here. We are working remotely, and back then I was in corporate. Why if we move here? We can work from here. Make money in dollars, Spanish pesos, different life. So that's how I transitioned there 4 years ago, 2021. And my journey in real estate as an agent started then because I wanted to see how I can sell Mexico, but I couldn't find a way to do it efficiently because when you step out of the US and Canada, everything is like crazy. It's like the wild west of real estate. There's no systems, there's no MLS. You have to be very mindful of fraud. Clients, you have to be doing your research before you present your client any inventory because they can get ripped off, they can fall in fraud, they can be cheated really quickly if they don't know what they're doing. And people anywhere in the world, they're like, oh yeah, this is a shiny object and buy this. And then they end up losing money. So because of that experience that I was living there while I was working remotely, I was like, maybe I can, really, see how I can operate here in the real estate space. In Chicago, I was doing flips, Airbnbs, and rentals, as my part-time. And so I got really familiar with it. So with construction, with contractors, and I love doing that more than my job. So I was doing investing without knowing it, in a way, right? I was doing the testing things, trying things in Chicago. So by the time I came to Mexico, it was more for how can I operate from here? So I was trying to build MLS in Mexico because my technology brain was like, maybe we can build a system that can, put some things together. And I got frustrated because you can build something, but if nobody uses it, you have nothing. And in Mexico, nobody will use it because people are already jealous of the listings. They don't share. Or they don't give you all the information. And they're like, oh, it's in that location, but they don't tell you who's the developer because you can otherwise go direct to the developer. So there's a lot of nuances that I observed while I was there. So I was doing kind of like my research. And I was really frustrated when I was taking my notes, how can we do. And as we were going up through our buying process in Mexico, because we decided with my sister we were going to buy there, and we bought a condo by the beach. But the buying process was a struggle. I worked with 3 different realtors, and none of them could tell me the comparables. They couldn't tell me, oh, that's the price. And I'm like, how do you pull the price out of thin air? Like, how can you know that's the price? So we were like researching different people to compare the notes because, if 3 people told you the same thing, maybe you were the right path, right? But if they told you 3 different things, they're like, okay, one of them is lying. So all that research was kind of like very amateur, very testing. I didn't have a system like to be like, oh, this is a good place to buy. So we bought blindly without buying this. Okay, this developer looks nice. And you still can find in the internet too much information about it. So that's how my journey started. When I came back to Chicago that spring, I was like, how can I sell in Mexico safely for my clients? And I didn't know anything about EXP. So I was like, how can I do this? And a friend introduced me to a friend that was in EXP, and that's how I learned about EXP. And I was like, wait, do you mean I can sell in Mexico from here? And she said, yeah. And she explained the whole model. So I was like, okay, can I join Zero Mexico? And she's like, well, you have to be a resident or have a social security number from Mexico. And I'm like, I don't have any of that because I'm not a resident of Mexico. So I had to go through my license in Chicago. So I joined EXP, went for my license, studied everything in 6 weeks because I wanted to get in and just use the system. And then at that point, I was able to be connecting these 2 different worlds, right? And the process is very similar, but nobody teaches you that. And so you have to kind of learn yourself. So everything we've done with our teams in Mexico has been laying the path to build on top of that. So other practices that we do here, we don't do there, and then we want our clients, because most of our clients are Americans and Canadians, so we want them to have an experience that is very similar to the country, right? And then go through the process of buying there by being notified by the realtor, because most times realtors over there, they sell you something and they're gone. So they're like, no customer service. I'm not saying everybody, but 99%, 95% of agents there, they're temporary, there's no license needed, so then there's no relationship. It's like a short-term thinking. I feel like, give me the money, I'm out, not everybody, but we want it to be that agent that is there all the time. Our team can give the support, notes if it's a pre-construction, how is the construction going, the date of information, is it second phase. So all these updates the client didn't get before, or they don't usually get with a realtor that are not there permanently. So that was kind of the experience where everything started for me in the real estate space as an agent. So I worked 4 years in Mexico, and that has been like a whole journey. It feels like 40 years, truly, because it's been a lot of trial, error, frustrations, fun. And then you get to live the life that you love because you have to build a foundation to operate from there. And then, the rest is like I love to travel. So my whole business, I built it kind of like a visualization. I was like, what's the life that I want to live? Like, do I want to be in Chicago all the time? It's a great city. I had, a great job after a great job, and there's a lot of opportunities. But I'm like, I really love to travel. I like traveling everywhere. How can I run my business that adjusts to the life that I like? Not the life that I'm supposed to live. So that's why up until now, I started my 37th country, and I love testing new countries. And now, when I go somewhere, anywhere, I go with a mindset of like, okay, how's real estate over there? I can go to Japan, Thailand, Visa, all of the countries that EXP is in, and be like, so how do you guys operate here for real estate? And I started doing a podcast for interviewing different realtors or different professionals in the industry to do just that. To ask you like, so if you're from Thailand, how does it work here? What is the land lease? And people buy here, you're not from here. What's the buying process, the financing process, the building, what are the restrictions, the risks, the benefits. So all that out of curiosity, I started a podcast, and that's what we're putting out every single week. Just getting knowledge of how you do business somewhere else. And that has brought me to have that overview, kind of like a eagle eye overview of how you operate in different countries. And I realized that it's very much pretty similar. 80% of the transaction is the same, and maybe only 20% is different, based on the legalities of a specific country or location or city or municipality. So it's not that difficult. And then now what I do is travel with purpose. Let's say if we go to Spain for the conference, but I'm already working too. Like, well, who can we attract to our teams? Who can we interview so we can get some value, some knowledge from attorneys? And when you have a podcast, everybody opens their doors. So does anyone have a podcast here? Or not yet? I recommend it because people give you free advice. You sit with them for an hour and they'll charge you. And then you ask all these questions that you're curious about, that you can, if you sit with an accountant, they'll charge you. If you sit with an attorney, they'll charge you. But you're like, hey, we'd love to interview you from our podcast so we can showcase you and your profession. And you can, we get any leads or clients to go straight your way. I will put all the information, of course, in the description so you can reach out to them directly. But people like that. They like to be interviewed. They like to share their knowledge. And guess what? You are learning for free. And I love that. So since then, I've been doing and building more of the podcast. Especially everything's on YouTube as well. But that has helped me learn, understand, and then have a big picture of how things operate in different countries. And that's what we focus on. So my goal is 40 countries by 40. I'm 40 now. So 3 countries to go. This is my Instagram.
Texas is a country.
I know. I'm 38. Okay. You guys can scan me, sorry. That's my Instagram. You guys can follow. And what I do is we have a lot of traffic on our Instagram. If you tag us, we will share your post. We will share your. We will share your post. We have about 40 to 50,000 views every month. So what we will share, we're sharing or we call it collaborating. Do you want anything?
There's just interference. It's okay.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
right here. No. So if you guys take a picture of this, you can go video, you can stream, whatever you guys want. This is information that we always share with YouTube anyways. So if you tag me, tag us, or anybody, we will share the post. So we want to showcase agents that are within the network so they can also exchange traffic. So because of that, the collaboration too, we have a lot of people coming back and forth. Like your followers follow me, my followers follow you, and then we start, we get to know each other. For YouTube, this is our YouTube. You can scan that too, or find international real estate, unicorn properties. And this will bring you straight to our YouTube, and you'll see that we have a journey we take people through, from the learning to the podcast, but also to the experiences. And let me see if I can share a video of.
I'm gonna shut your.
Yeah.
You're good.
Once you guys go to the channel, I want to share a video that we created a while ago. I don't like it too much because I'm in a lot of scenes and I don't want to be all the time in the main photo. But our videographer did a great job on why we do what we do. And it's, for me, it has been the most important thing because I did this with my mom. That people can live the life they love what they want, but also retire with dignity. Once you guys go to right now, there's a lot of people that cannot afford to retire. Mm-hmm. So how can we show them the path to just find a place that is, the same, similar or better than what they're living at, or much less the fixed cost. And we do those analysis as well for the cost of living for different demographics. Let me see if I can. Hi guys, my name is Natalie. So the story starts here. of movement.
Good.
These are 99% real footage. So we recorded this, we live there, like we breathe it every single day. And to me, it has been more of like our team is there, like our physical team, operation team, videographer, editors, Marisa knows some of our, our team as well. That's our production. And this has been like, this is a summary of little tiny pieces. And people think that Mexico is dangerous, and there's some areas that are, of course. But there's some areas that are so beautiful, nobody bothers you. And you just have to find those pockets of expats in a way that you can still, mingle with the community, but, respecting the locals, do your own, lifestyle. So since we've been there, I think to me it has been like a breath of fresh air from Chicago, like back to nature, and then the people who come there, it's like we have the same mindset that, we're gonna escape the big city. Although this resonates sometimes better when it's winter in Chicago, the beach. I don't want to sell you the summer. But this is kind of the content we create and the experiences what we report on. So in our YouTube, you'll find the real estate tours. It's an initiative that we have, and we started doing those because since today we're talking international real estate YouTube. That's exactly what we do 100% of the time, like how we connect these two together. That it brings people that excitement to work with you. And you don't have to be part of our direct line, but we work with every single realtor that wants to work together and collaborate. The real estate tour started last year because it's a lot of agents that were coming one at a time, and we were doing different tours, and it was a lot of time. So we're like, okay, we're gonna put a date in the calendar that everybody can come for 1 week, and we show you everything. Like we show you the locations, the education, the how-to, the risks, and the benefits. So then the latest one that we did was in Portugal. We had a very nice group of 10 to 14 people, and this is the recap. We had the one in Peru, we had in Cartagena, we had one in Mexico, and we have upcoming, as the conferences of EXP are happening, we're putting one together like the same week before. So if people are traveling for South Africa in February, guess what? We'll have a tour event before or after. And we coordinate directly with the local realtors. So you can do that the same. We have access to the same tools. So the reason that we do these tours easier is because we have a partner locally that knows the logistics, the van, the food, the location, whatever needs to be laid out, and we can pull in the online traffic to the tour. At the beginning, we kept it small, under 15 people, to manage, the group in a way that is not driving yourself crazy, because the bigger the group, the more headaches. But that has been reserved right now only for realtors, not only for EXP, but for anywhere. If you want to attract an agent that's curious, you can invite them. There's a small ticket price to cover the expenses, but we don't go like $6,000 prices, it's like more than hundreds based on the expenses of that specific country. So these have been really good. The last tour that we had in Portugal, we had 2 agents joining EXP because they were there and they're like, oh, I love this culture. So without selling it, you are attracting. We invite you to join those. We have the next one in December in Riviera Maya. We might have 2 more in Panama and Costa Rica. Before that, still TBD. And we have the South Africa in February and Paris with EXPCon probably in the summer, June. But all that is going to be in a different website. I can share with you guys later. Daniel is on our podcast too.
Panda made it.
I made it.
I love
Panda
Daniel's
made it.
story. I think
Good job, Panda.
it's super valuable to share our personal stories online because we can teach, about real estate to our clients all day, every day, but why don't I work with you specifically is because who you are. And people know that we're in the people business, and that's what we showcase in the podcast, not only like how do you do this specific, skill, but who you are as a person and why I value you, as a human being, and why people should know your story, because sometimes we don't talk about ourselves much. It's like, I don't talk. And so my coach told me, Natalie, you need to tell your story, and I'm like, why? And I have to put my story together, and I was like, this is really hard to do, because it's hard to talk about yourself, but if you have somebody showcasing you, it's much easier, because they can put those little things that you don't have the courage to say, but they're so important for people to get to relate to you. So then all these are personal stories, but at the same time related to specific topic or specific country. So podcast, that's where you can find it. And of course we have international leading content on how you we buy these, when we opened in Ecuador, I was there, and every single thing, how you relocate abroad, your relocation partners, and then we have the prices around the world. Here, we're gonna try to put more US prices because we have inbound and outbound. US going somewhere else, and US, other countries want to come to the US to buy here, to part their money, and safer, because the dollar is more stable. So we're gonna be creating more content on where international buyers buy within the US, which usually is Florida, New York, Arizona, Texas. So that would be a good flow for people to understand, how much you can get for these, if there is any rental income. And there's other people in South America that want to get their money out into somewhere that is safer. So they find the US a safe investment, so we need to create the content to attract them so they understand English and Spanish. Because sometimes there's content in English and there's in Spanish. So we need content also in Spanish or in other languages that you might speak. So that's kind of the prices around the world. And of course we have about Mexico, how much does it cost to live there, the difference in construction and all this content that if you go through the channel, we're very purposeful why we showcase, what we showcase, and how we display it. That way, people can follow. If I don't care about the podcast, maybe I care about international living or take care of it. But our target is mostly investors, so they can understand. But at the same time, we're always doing interaction with the interviewers that we have, the guests, because they're mostly 90% from EXP. So one more thing here that will start in a few weeks, actually in 2 weeks, the 31st, I think it is July. I'll show you guys a QR code if you want to join the WhatsApp chat. And that WhatsApp chat is all international real estate topics. You can join and you can invite other people from inside EXP, outside EXP, because we find that when they connect with their community, they realize all the value that they can find outside of the brokerage because of all the tools that we have. And everybody focuses on something different. Ours is just very narrow in international real estate, inbound and outbound of the US. These calls will be weekly, and what we've done in the past has been 2 countries per month, so 4 weeks, right? The first presentation, let's say Panama market coming next. Panama. How do you buy, sell, risks, benefits, legalities, immigration, all that, the knowledge on how the country operates for real estate, who can buy, and what will be the recommendations. And the second part of that country will be comparables. So how much does it cost, the price per square meter or price per square foot, what cities are trending, what's coming up, what train is going by, what university is getting built, what hospital. Then that way we can motivate people to be like, okay, this is up and coming. People don't have idea and it's right in the country. How do you know it's a good location? So then the local realtor within our network will present, why the location prices and do the comparables. Since they don't have an MLS, they have to do this manually. So it's a lot of work to put it together, but they showcase it for us for free because they want to get clients. And if you understand more about the market in Panama, guess what? You might have a buyer or you might have a seller. And then you can connect directly with them. We don't take any cuts in the middle. It's more like share your market so people can understand. And then we have more countries showcases. So we have Italy, Portugal, Colombia, Dubai. So we're going to have more content. So 2 countries per month, weekly. Right now we have Thursday mornings for now that we're going to schedule them. I'll show you guys the QR code towards the end. So you can join the chat and you get notifications on when the calls are happening. I will try not to put people's listings there because it's too much spam, because it's like, oh, I have this listing, and that's kind of just for notifications on when is the call, and if you can invite people to the chat. Otherwise, it gets crazy with so many inventory everywhere. So they're recorded in here. I'm going to be doing a community that will be a private community too, and you guys can join as well. There will be a membership attached to it, but anybody who's providing, growing the group, they're free to join. That will be called International Real Estate Academy. We have the class almost finished, and that will be a class and a community. And that will be attached to real estate tours because we don't want to just have a class, we want to have the experience. Because what you will apply what you learn, right away almost. So probably we'll have the Panama, South Africa sessions next. So by the time you learn it, you're going to a tour, and then you apply. Or you can tell somebody to go with you. Or the more you learn, you can speak about it. You're like, hey, you should go to South Africa. I've never been there, but I was like, I'm excited to go. How is South Africa? And then people think it's just safaris, and it's a huge city. So it's like breaking those beliefs that people think like, oh, that's an Africa, you know, but it's like an amazing city. So all these little things that, how do you bring people from the theory to the practice is the most important thing, at least to us, because then by living the experience, you can recommend. If we bring you to the Riviera Maya, you'll be like, oh wow, this is nice. I definitely can recommend this because I've been there, I lived there, I've been on the beach, you know, the food is amazing, and it feels different. The Florida, for example. We do a lot of comparables with Florida and the coast of Miami, and we win every single time the price, of course, and the fixed cost. So the price of how much you spend for maintenance, HOAs, taxes is like this. And I will give you some fun facts on, you know, the fixed cost of the taxes, and the reason I moved to Mexico was the taxes, not only my taxes of income tax, but it was because I still pay taxes in the US, of course, but our property taxes. Just a simple example, and I have some comparables. My taxes in the US are $7,000 for my condo, 3-bed, 2-bath in Chicago downtown, near downtown, and 2-bed, 2-bath in Mexico near the water is $400 a year. So I was like, 7,400. I was like, why am I in Chicago again? So I put my rental, I mean, these are now my place on Airbnb, I don't use it, I live there. So I sold almost all my properties in Chicago, and now I have just a condo with my sister, or storage kind of. We'll go in and out from there, but it's already paid off. So I'm like, I'm done with this. That's a rental, almost zero. Fixed, you know, my cost of living is very little, and now I can travel. And it's as if I was paying rent or mortgage in Chicago, because when I was doing my numbers, I was like, how much am I spending living here? Minimum $4,000 a month, minimum, without counting food or travel. If I go to South America, I'm spending $1,200. And people are like, how do you travel so much? I'm like, because when I travel, it's cheaper. So literally, I don't spend more than my budget per month, but I'm somewhere else all the time. And it's, you know, and I stay there for a month or so. So it's kind of like, if you actually restructure that, how do you travel so much? Including my flights, I spend less than in Chicago. So when you do the math, it's not that difficult. If you budget, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 per month to live here, imagine how far that can go, of course. And then you can turn your property into a rental property, and you know, live the life you want and just travel. But that's kind of my style on how I like to do things. I like house hacking. I don't like paying rent or mortgage. If I have to pay above, if I have to put money in my pocket, I don't like it. So I try to advise people similarly. If they're in the same mindset. But sometimes if you have kids, you know the school district is needed. So those things until they're very, you know, I understand that. But if you're kind of like, hey, I don't know what I'm gonna do when I retire, or I don't have kids, or my kids are big, you know, they're already at the house. Maybe you're like now in that space that you want to explore, like compare different lifestyles. So that's what YouTube. Why YouTube? So I'll show you some of our stats that are here. We only have maybe 1,300 followers because it's very niche, right? And I don't want you to get discouraged with your followers because sometimes the followers don't represent your reach. Sometimes people don't follow because you know so much content out there, but they watch your content. So don't, like Mike says, don't get fixed on the views, on the likes, or you know the numbers that you see here, because with the 40 people watch a video, we got 2 leads out of that from Merida. So it's not about the views, it's about who calls you. At the end of the video, you can make sure you put your call to action in every single area of the video, of course. But with this, we have 200 plus views, 100,000. So it's one of the followers about who's watching, how much are they watching for your content. So our views are much higher, of course, than our followers, but we have almost 1,000 videos. So it's, I mean, that's as of today, and that's what we are emphasizing YouTube because they are more permanent than Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Although you need to also be there, YouTube should be the base, and then you branch out from the same content. So you only create content once. And I don't know if you guys have covered any about content creation. We'll do more hands-on on tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's meeting.
Tomorrow we have a workshop.
Tomorrow we have a workshop on
Tomorrow night.
if you haven't get started, how you can get started. This is more like once you get started, how do you grow it? So if you're in the growth phase, who's growing and who's getting started? Who's getting started from zero?
I'm like,
Everybody else has a channel?
that's in.
What's a channel?
Like super.
Starting? Do you have a channel? So when you started, maybe tomorrow would be helpful to come because then you go from zero. Because this every day, every single week we have people getting started from scratch. So then we want to make sure that they get started, they're set up, and they can, once they know, because at the beginning it's very tedious to set it up, but once you start, you keep going. But to keep going and grow, you need to start. So tomorrow we'll have the starting point. This one is kind of a growth-ish phase. So when you're ready to keep going, then we have the automations and then your own create ones, and it's how do you distribute your content everywhere just with one video, so you don't have to kill yourself just doing content all day, every day, and you don't do any sense. You know, the idea is to make money, not to make content, unless your content makes money. And then, of course, that makes sense. Because that will be your job, your full-time job, right now. Okay, so that's for YouTube. I have some more stuff for, well, you guys have my Insta, you guys can tag, and everybody's EXP, but I usually like to explain that EXP for me and how I explain it to agents out there, that you have your brand and this is my Intel, my laptop. So depending on how fast you want to run your business, is how your processor needs to be. If you have a tiny processor, you're gonna go very slow. Small brokerages, very slow.
I like that.
EXP, it's like, yeah, you want to make sure you go fast. So, you know, we're selling the laptops, we're selling unicorn properties, just because you have your brand, just because who you are. And then nobody sees EXP, because, I mean, we have, in some countries we have to use the brand, but some countries don't really say it, but they're using every single thing to operate their business, and it's a very fast processor. So that's how we share with agents when they don't understand what we do. We're like, well, it's our processor. It's like really fast, and you keep selling your laptops on your brand. Nobody's gonna change that. So that's how we kind of share that when it comes to agent attraction. You guys know, we're all equal. In a linear, we grow equally. You can grow as far as you want, you know, or as little as you want. It's up to you how much you grow.
So is Team GoGo part of Shards?
No, this is just an organization.
Oh,
so,
okay.
you know, we put you here.
No.
No, this is different within EXP, right?
Yeah.
EXP umbrella, 1,000 brands. Everybody's grows as fast as they want. If you want, you know, people will know you. And then how do we visually represent our families, our family tree? This is stuff we just put partner with partners. And the reason that co-sponsor is so important these days is because now you can tap into a different market without being there, with whoever's stronger there. So we're here in Dallas with Daniel and Maritza. So now you can have a mom and a dad kind of, right, for your agents. So that's the best world, because sometimes you're strong in one thing but not the other, and vice versa, and you can just complement each other instead of duplicating the work so many times. So we're part of the, you know, the Wolfpack. Then we have Cracks Immobiliarias with Vania Monroe. I think we have her slide here.
What does cracks mean?
Oh yeah, that sounds. Crack is when you're really quick and you're like
Cracks?
crack.
Yeah.
You're the one.
Okay.
In Spanish, it's like you're crack. A crack. Como que estás
Okay.
super clear.
Okay.
But it sounds funny in English. It's not correct.
It's a slang. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So then we have the Spanish content, which is like with Vania Monroe. She's the biggest in YouTube after Mike. Mike is in English, Vania is in Spanish. And they grew together, and now our goal is to be the international one for that same purpose. So then we focus a lot on YouTube, but at least 80% of our time goes to YouTube when it comes to content creation, and the rest goes to everything else. And the automation, you can hire a VA, and with AI tools, you just distribute faster. Because you still have to put your hand in AI to make sure the quality goes out, instead of just whatever the AI thinks is good for your channel. So that's kind of how we have represented visually. That probably you can do your own circle too. You know, if you're with partners, then you have your own organization, and then probably hopefully your kids in EXP will grow and have their own, organization. These are leaders, but this the same. This is Vania. She went from 66 when I did the slides to 140,000.
No,
And
she
I think
doesn't.
that's in less than a year. So yeah, you guys can follow Mike. Mike. You can follow Vania for Spanish.
Mike
content.
has more now. than
Yeah,
Mike.
this is like maybe 8 months old
Yes.
slide.
Yeah.
And I have to update it. So Vania for content in Spanish. She literally puts a lot of valuable content in Spanish. But we send our rep, you don't have to teach the rep to say anything else anymore, just send a video, like, and then you can walk them through the questions. So that's how we're trying to do for also international. You can share a video, and this is how we have a video for comparables that is an hour and 10, or comparables in Merida for beach homes that has 3,500 or 4,000 views, and I'm like, that's a very long, tedious video. It's like literally going, and people are watching it because they want to know. So then maybe those things that you think people want entertainment, they do, but they also want the data. They want what you know in your head that you think that everybody knows, but sometimes they don't. Clearly, they're watching this video, and I didn't know they would watch so much because to me it was like a boring video, but it has so much content in it that if people want to move to that city, they're like, huh, I need to do this. I need to understand more of that. And then of course we're gonna go and compare it as people to validate the data, but we try to keep as close to the real, and then changes with the currency exchanges, of course, but that's good. That would be a good point if you wanna create content with us. We're always open to do that. And or you wanna create your own content, we can help you, get it farther. Now we're not 24 countries, we're 27, about to be 28. Do you guys know which are the new countries that we're in? Does anybody know that you can 3 new countries that we just opened with
Korea,
Turkey,
Vietnam.
Germany,
Vietnam.
Peru, Ecuador, and Turkey are the new ones. Korea is coming.
One day be Guatemala.
Yes. So this is gonna keep growing. We're not 50 by 30, I think. So there's more content we need to do right now because we're catching up with the ones that we already have.
Yeah.
So we need to get more out there. And
I hope the Philippines, because we have all, like, you imagine all the support from the Philippines with all the VAs. They
yes.
all know our stuff. They have
Yeah.
all our information.
the whole country's
They can hold, they can just grow.
Yeah. Yeah, and the beautiful part is that you can tap into those markets
Yeah.
right now. But maybe you can focus on your market now that maybe you have your market already, you know it, you're comfortable with it. Now you can go a little bit out, in the world to understand the markets work somewhere else. There's a lot of Americans moving to Mexico and Portugal right now. And they're not doing it with you, they should do it with you. Because your clients are the ones moving or find a second home. They're gonna buy that second home with or without you, so might as well you be that path to that, hey, and talk about it. You don't need to understand everything, you just need to understand a little bit so you can put the interest and then bring the conversation with your local partner there. Or you can bring into the conversation, happy to explain almost like half of these countries and how or where. And I have met in person the realtors I want to work with too, because you can send a referral anyone in the directory, but you just don't know them. You can know them from social media, but when you step out of the US, there's a lot of reading between the lines. You cannot just work with everybody just because they're in the platform. I have learned that you have to really meet your partners locally, and I have a person, not favorite person, but because I've seen their work ethic. So I want to share with you a bit about some risks of sending referrals outside of the system and some risks of sending referrals within the system that you don't know who they are, because some realtors say that in one location and then in another one, so they bounce a referral to the local agent. So I'm like, why did you say you're here if you're there? So it's a lot of that happening, especially in Mexico. Agents in Mexico City are from the Riviera Maya, and I'm like, you don't live there. How can you show my agent? You're not showing the agent, If you don't live there, you're gonna bounce my referral to somebody else. And or somebody with or without EXP. So then it's very important that I always ask every agent, do you live there? How long do you live there? Or because I'm in Mexico part-time, 6 months a year. But when I'm not there, my team is there. But my team is an extension of me, but it's not somebody else that I join a different organization and I don't know how they work. And there's some risks in international real estate too on revenue share that we've been experiencing with Stella. So there is a lot of nuances that you might not know because not everybody follows the rules. But the ones that follow the rules are they're my best friends because then I met them, I know how they work, we work together, unless you go through harsh times together, you don't know that person. If everything is beautiful, everything is nice, we smile at each other. But then when things get hard, you're like, oh, I don't want to work with that person anymore. So then you probably have experienced that here too, but over there it's more like you just don't know. You need to really meet them. So international referrals, do you guys work or use the international referral portal or the referral portal? Because
We have in the EXP,
Yeah.
a lot of, I believe 80% in our organization have not tapped into the
Okay,
referral networking globally.
okay.
So,
So first create your profile because they can find you too.
Mhm.
So if you don't have your profile up to date on your cities that you cover, even locally here, they cannot find you. Or they might find you, but they don't have a picture, or you don't have your locations updated, or you have Dallas as a big city, but they don't, maybe they look for a specific Plano or Fresno kind of area that I'm learning myself about. So if I don't know about it, probably they don't know about it either. So then you want to be very specific and of course have your social media so they can find you and they can be like, oh yeah, my client needs that location. So they go there to you. So we can talk about that too today if you guys are open to it. This is a referral portal. And literally takes 2 minutes to have referral. Have you guys had referrals yet within
I do.
EXP, within the US? No? Maybe a little bit?
I did.
Okay,
You
okay.
sent me one.
Yeah.
With the Mexico for New York, yes, we're
Yeah.
working in that. And he sent me other listing for Mesquite.
Nice.
So yes,
Good.
I have that one, so I check like every 2 days as you told me. So
Yeah, with Fresh,
Yes.
because sometimes you get referrals and you don't know because your email goes like this, 1,000 emails, and you're like, one referral, and it gets lost.
Mhm.
So yeah, check here because you can see the inbound and outbound referrals. You can send or receive. It usually takes 3 minutes to do this contract, and you have a referral ongoing somewhere else, or somebody can send you one. I use this quite a bit. You can ask for your referral percentage or a fixed amount, the duration of the contract, and all that is within your Okta. So you go to Okta, you go click referral portal or global referral portal, and it pops up. And it's very easy to follow.
And this is great because, sometimes we're just texting or they'll do a referral fee and all that and something gets missed.
Yeah.
You goes back to this, corporate has it.
Yeah.
And it's a corporate document. Corporate will, help
Yeah.
if there's anything.
There's also a form in Trek
yeah,
whenever you're going to do a referral that you can fill out and the broker signs on both ends.
This is
about how they did this time, that was very professional because the agent sent directly to EXP. So they review it, they make me to sign, I sign it, and after I sign, stay in my portal and I display the information.
Yes.
So I think that was very professional, easy, and safe
Yeah.
for our commission.
Yes, yeah, because then you send the record.
Yes.
Especially when you're international, it has to be on the record always.
Yes.
Even before you send the phone number to the client.
Mhm.
Because I tell you, because this didn't happen with EXP, but the reason I joined EXP was because I sent a referral in Mexico while I was there with the agent that I'm working with. And I was like, okay, let's go. We had a contract too, a physical one. She went like that, I think. The commission was about $5,000, and we were gonna go half and half, and she disappeared.
Mhm.
Literally. And I'm like, I have a contract. She doesn't answer the phone. I mean, how can you find a person if you don't, like, you cannot chase people for money. I mean, that's the worst experience. But it happened to me, and that's where I was like, okay, I guess we need a system. Because you just cannot, I mean, you can trust people until it comes to with money. And then money's in the mix, and you're like, okay, I guess we're playing with the rules. But it has to happen for you to understand what the risks are of international transactions. You're also doing paper, and you have to do within a system. And I prefer working with a network because if this person doesn't follow, she can get terminated. So then at least there's a consequence. But if there's no consequences, people are like, well, there are no consequences, I'm just gonna go on their own way. I mean, like literally, it is.
And I think the reason they doing that is because whenever I unplug the transaction, the system is going to recognize the refer. So they're going to split and I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
And the other agent don't need to worry about.
Mhm.
So they send it a refer payment, they take from my commission and it's good. So I
For
think,
taxes, it's better
yes, and it's good. So
Yeah.
I like that system.
It's very helpful because you don't have to send any money or wire any money somewhere else. I mean, like, it's like a mess when it comes to sending money abroad and then how you declare that for taxes. How you deduct it, you have to just put it in a different category probably. So if EXP does it, when your commission comes in, they send
Yes.
the money to them in their currency and to the country, to the bank account in the country. So you don't have to really even worry about that transaction. Once you close, the money gets dispersed where it needs to go.
It's like a title company does. They share the
They
money,
share it,
whoever has to
And
go.
whatever you didn't make doesn't touch your income, whatever you made goes into your direct deposit, and the other goes to the other side. And there's no mix of taxes, expenses, or anything like that. So yeah, Maritza has used it in just a month. Any questions about the portal? You guys need learn how.
So who's all gonna sign up on the EXP Okta, get their information out there?
Update your profile at least, yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're always up to date on your city that you cover, make sure you type the city itself, because there's so many little suburbs that you're like, oh, it's just Dallas, but people are looking for a specific, maybe they'll find you that way easier. But the filter is working now. So why is it important and why you should maybe care? Because there's money involved. So there's money on the table that you can leave behind if you don't pay attention where your client is moving to or from. This happens often that when people come to the Riviera Maya or the peninsula of Mexico, they're like, I want to move here to retire. And that's what I mean the next year. But I want to sell my house in Toronto. I want to sell my house in Chicago or Minnesota. And you can be like, oh wait, you're selling in Minnesota? I can help you. Because our agents in Mexico sometimes don't pay attention. They're like, oh, good luck, come back when you have the cash. So then we're like, no, before they go, make sure you introduce them to an agent. And this sounds very obvious, right? Like, you will do it. But sometimes when I share, some people don't even have been practicing that. I'm like, well, you lost 2,000 minutes. Yeah.
I have a friend who owns a brokerage in Puerto Vallarta. He's been there over 25 years, and I've been friends with him about 25 years. And we used to go there on vacation all the time. He started out as an agent, and now he's got his own brokerage. So I can't wait to connect with him and do business together. And I can do that now with EXP.
Yeah. That would be great. 25 agents. That's amazing.
He actually is a national, U.S. national, or U.S. born and raised in Seattle, Washington. White guy, green eyes. And I met him a long time ago, and we've just been friends with him. Every time I go there, I look him up, and he shows us properties, and it's been great. So I kind of know a little bit about the market in Puerto Vallarta, because I'm always like looking at stuff. And so he became a Mexican national. The last time I saw him, which was about a year ago, his Spanish is spot on, super great with them, with the lingo and everything. And he married a Mexican, beautiful señorita, and he's doing well, and his brokerage has grown. So can't wait to connect.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's some opportunities that maybe we're not thinking about. Even when we go on vacation somewhere, there's always somebody doing real estate there, right? So you can go and, like, Daniel just came back from Greece and Turkey, probably he was in business too. Like, who is there?
No, probably.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely. My Uber driver, I talk to everyone.
Yeah.
My kids understand the platform now.
Yeah.
Even my
You should
7-year-old.
start the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, you should be my dad.
And it's also a tax write-off. Why go just do your vacation?
Exactly.
Utilize it for business.
Yeah. And just do a couple things, and then it benefits you, benefits them, because they don't know about the platform as mainstream as we are in the US. It's very new in different countries. So the market is like to me, it's like a virgin market. You go in there and you're like, so quickly you can take over like an area, recruit, attract agents. And it's very important because, like you were saying, you know the market very well. But if you know just a little bit of the market, you can still start with what you know, connect with who knows about the market, and then send them the referrals. And imagine, Puerto Vallarta is double the price of that, but there's an average of 500,000 in the properties. Because Puerto Vallarta is maybe 30%, 40% more than Riviera Maya prices. Because it's more mature market, it's more established. It's been out there for longer, so the West Coast is a little more expensive than the East Coast of Mexico. But these are the comparables we also do for our clients. Puerto Vallarta versus Playa del Carmen. What are the differences? And now Mexico is getting more expensive because, guess what? We're moving there. They say the new American dream is Mexico because now people really want to. Florida is sometimes unaffordable for some of our clients. And I know we're not focused on luxury and high-end prices, but a lot of people need help in the middle. You know, like how can you find a home for them that is not gonna cost them all the retirement funds, you know, per month, and they're very tight on budget. So this is a simple example, very simplified of the referral and how much money is in there for you to send it, to pay attention, right? Like sometimes you don't pay attention because you're like, I don't understand it, or you don't understand the amount that can come into your pocket until you understand, and you're like, well, you know what, I'm gonna be listening for every single person that's moving somewhere. And for my $500,000 listing, which I don't think there are many anymore these days, but we'll talk about 500. In the US, it's about 2-3% of the commission. Mexico, 4 to 10%. So although maybe the prices are less, the commission is more. So sometimes you end up in the same number. So double the commission, half the price, almost the same numbers. So let's say that the commission is 10K. What would you pay attention? I'm just connecting 1,000, doing nothing. Just connecting to people on the referral platform, sending a phone number, and wait until they close. You can still follow up with your client, right? Like, hey, how everything's going on Maritza? How's everything going? You know, do you find any house? Oh, no, she didn't answer. Or you know what, I couldn't find anything. Maybe I moved to a different city. Instead of, I'll do Austin. Then, okay, let me contribute to our Austin partner. And then make sure you follow up with the client, because sometimes you don't understand they change cities, and then you didn't follow up to send a referral. So you want to make sure you stay in contact enough to close them. But of course, the weight falls into the one that received the referral, so they can actually close it, and you can, it doesn't matter if it could be a trip somewhere, you know, or pay for your bills. So, of course, after that, we can break down from EXP, but it's an amount that, you know, it's easier to be made. Other brokerages don't have this, meaning like, a small brokerage cannot do this. So you want to help those small brokerages make more money by expanding their walls. So sometimes they don't understand it, but they're like, oh, EXP is this, EXP is that, I want to have my own brokerage, but they're missing out on a lot of money because they already know the people that have the clientele. So you'll be like, hey, you can expand on the referral side, not only nationally, but internationally, and you and your agents can make this much more money. So this is like the money that local brokerages are leaving on the table because they don't pay attention. Yeah.
Well, I want to share a story with how to take advantage of Natalie. Well, it just takes one person. When Brew opened up, I connected with a friend who is a realtor. And then, we have a group now in Peru. But then I met Natalie when she went to Peru also. We were there together. And of course, opening up a country and all that. But now Natalie and I, we're planning to structure something that we can help Peru's agents to recruit Peru agents, and also just to help them to open their eyes, their mind, to understand better and wide open to the international real estate through Natalie. So if you have a friend that you can probably recruit in any country that you know, Natalie's the one. Natalie's the one. So she's very knowledgeable, and we're working together to help a country agents that can improve their lifestyle and their income. So it's just take advantage of it.
Yeah, we're in Peru with Estela. I'm the main person there, and now we have co-sponsored agent there too. So it's like we're working with partners in different places, and that's the beauty now of co-sponsoring. And sometimes the local agent with EXP does not get the vision that we get sometimes. Even they're in EXP, they understand it. They believe in it, but they haven't seen it. So then by having you help them, because I think you see a bigger picture than the local agents, because although local is good, sometimes you have to open your mind more, because then you can help your agents on the ground better. So by being there, you were there for a month, I was there for a month. I literally all I do is travel to different locations for a month at a time, 2 to 4 weeks. Because when you immerse there, you get to know the agents, the pain points, the how-to everyday stuff that you cannot get in the webinar, or you cannot not understand in 1 week. And sometimes people don't have that flexibility to travel for a month at a time. But it's like I spend a month in Peru to make sure that I am, because even though it's my country, I just don't know how they do real estate now these days. And I know here how they do real estate, but bringing those practices that maybe even the country leader might not be aware of because they're local. But bringing those practices in the framework of how you can help your agents better, they just become better and grow faster. And yeah, any calls that you can have with any people else, in the US you guys have it covered. Anybody outside that you might need help with for the value proposition, why is good for for them, I'm happy to do that. Yeah. Or
Do you
yeah,
have any, Spain,
yes. Where
do you have any connections in Spain? Because we just have a new agent who has referred a friend who wants to join in Spain, but we don't speak Spanish. And she doesn't speak Spanish very well, she just got there, and we really don't have anyone there to support. So we need someone who speaks Spanish and help us in Spain. Very sad. I'm here. Yay!
Right here.
Oh,
I've been to Spain for
okay, great. Yeah, we keep us.
Yeah, and if I saw the city, they need local support physically connect with them, like to, show them the ropes. Just let me know the city.
Yeah, we kind of explained the model in the US, but in Spain,
You actually met her in Barcelona. She was one of my
Really?
guests.
she met her.
Yeah.
Now she's in the house too, right? Is the one?
No.
Is the other
Actually,
one?
no.
Okay.
You met the agent that I brought.
Okay.
She came half a day.
Oh, nice.
But anyways, yes, those are opportunities. So we have to find a good leader, because this is a unique case. She's actually not from Spain. She's Chinese.
She's Chinese.
She's new, but she's selling real estate in Barcelona
Oh,
with a
but-
lot of Chinese clients buying in Spain.
Yeah.
So we need that little dynamic, and maybe find a leader, maybe find another broker to come together.
Yeah,
So
and
we'll
we have
work on
lots
it.
of referrals that going to Spain right now, because lots of Chinese people want to buy properties in Spain, and lots of people in the US want to buy properties in Spain.
Yeah.
So we need a
Yeah.
agent there.
Somebody
Who
partner
speaks
out,
Spanish?
and then you don't have to be even in the same organization.
If you want, I can move to there.
No,
No, we want
Just
you.
here.
Let me
Take
send
my
you.
video.
We need you for leadership. We'll fly there.
I'm always have to, you tell me where and when, I have to put it in my calendar and go. Because that's why I said, Marisa, send your events ahead of time, because I usually I'm away from home 9.5 months out of the year, like voluntarily. And I love being there, because when you're in different locations, you just learn so much, not only the culture, of course, but the how-to of business. And to me, it's like a crash course for a month. And unless you're there to understand it in between, reading between the lines, nobody can tell you this. There's some legal things that happen there now that I know you can give you some examples. If we have time at the end of how they operate there, how to declare the properties, their value, and I'm like paying the taxes on the sale tax and the property tax. I'm like, this is insane. How is it possible? So it's not illegal, but it's in the boundaries of nobody will tell you about it unless you're there. So I'm like, okay, and then I saw that practice in different countries too, in Latin America, and I'm like, oh, I guess this is more broad than I thought. Happens in Mexico, happens in Ecuador, happens in Peru. And I was like, well, this is interesting. And I was able to teach you that in a webinar because you cannot, teach that. You just know when you practice. Those are the fun things of being somewhere else. Spain has very low inventory right now, so they're really prices are really, not really high, but they're higher. So then our realtors are struggling finding inventory. So they're trying to test the practice of the US of door knocking. Hey, do you want to sell your house? And most people don't live there because the biolocation comes right out. So then that's kind of the struggle right now in Spain. Everything's happening everywhere, but it's happening in the main city, Barcelona, everything by the coast. So it's interesting to know that, because then you know that now they have a seller's market, because you want to aim for that, whatever is trending, or whatever is needed, and then you can appeal to those realtors that, unless you know their market a little bit, they are like, oh, you're from the US, you don't understand our market. And then we're shutting you down because they're like, no, you're not here, you don't get it. It's more like, no, I understand it because, this, that, and at least it can give you some of the tools to get them to talk to you.
So wanted to ask, the property tours that you do, in Playa del Carmen, right? Or that,
Yeah.
Maya Riviera and all that. Could we set up a tour and a package somehow to fly there and do a property tour and have some, coverages and things like that? Just trying to understand the market better. you know?
Yeah, we have one in, I have to announce it, December 11th to 14th.
Okay,
One of the two cities. It's gonna be like Miami and Tampa kind of city, kind of thing. Down there is Riviera Maya from Cancun to Tulum and Merida.
okay,
So you can understand, even within the Riviera Maya, the markets, for 200,000 you get a condo here, for 200,000 you get a house here. It's double square foot for each.
Okay.
So we're gonna do one, and I want to announce it to the group. Anybody can go.
Yeah.
And then what we do is everybody flies there on their own because sometimes they have Boeings, they have a preferred airline, and everybody stays within a location, and you also can do that yourself. So we keep the cost down
Yeah.
because sometimes you have points, and you can buy Airbnb or hotels.
so I know in American Airlines, you can charter a flight to Cancun. So depending how many people, you could actually book one private, it's almost like a private plane to go down there to charter. So there's opportunities if we have enough people, but that could be an opportunity where, we have a showcase and, we talk to the developers and different agents or team.
Absolutely.
So those are things that we can do.
Yeah, and we can think about the rest of the country. If you're connected to any country outside of US, we can plan those too, because now we have the framework on the how to, we experimented
Yeah.
with our own agents. We had a pilot program when we launched, so now we kind of catch all the rules.
With the We Tours.
We tours. Yeah, I think we can, I don't know, we're gonna answer on the website. I'm gonna share with you guys, it's called realstatetours.org. And then we're putting everything and the dates and the possible country we can go in. Once we have a partner locally that can run it, we do the rest. So it's a lot of logistics, believe me, and it's a lot of one-on-one messages that we have to deal with. But even though we do a group, there's a lot of one-on-one questions. And so we try to create all the content ahead of time, so all the questions are answered, and then you don't have to deal with it. Your 5 guests that will be asking you the same question, like, how do I get there? Which airport? All these things will be answered beforehand. So then if you want to call yourself or invite somebody, we will lay out. So don't forget about that. I'm going to share the dates, and I'm going to also do the WhatsApp QR, so in case you want to go over that. This is part of the podcast content that we create. You can take a picture, you can probably, the presentation is a little bilingual, so maybe I will send that, but you can take pictures of that. The same thing that we talk about every day here for a sale is that and more when we cover international markets, because it's not so straightforward that I'm gonna go and buy a house and buy an apartment. It's more like, what neighborhood? How do I get financing? What do I have to be a resident to buy? Yes or no? Or what's my residency? What I need to be to buy there? Also, when I do make rental income, how do you declare that? Where do you declare that? All these little things that sometimes we don't think about when it's international, because you think they know, but they don't know. They will ask you all the questions to you or to the agent and it's locally there. So we cover all that in most of the interviews that we do for the podcast. What if I buy land I want to build? For example, in the islands like Puerto Rico or DR, it's hard to get workers to work or build because it's slower pace, or they're paying more permits. You buy land in an island, you have to wait 3 years to get a permit to start building. So it's like crazy. Why would you do that? But the government's tilting to that, avoiding the tourism instead of motivating it. So the investments are discouraged. So it's like, why would you discourage investment? You're killing your economy. But it's politics for each country. That's why all these little things and nuances like country matter, because otherwise, you buy land and then you don't know they cannot build for 3 years. You have to tell them ahead of time, because otherwise they can put that money somewhere else, right? So these little things that we don't know, so we know, are very important to keep in mind and cover in the podcast. Immigration is really important for some people. Golden visas, if they want to travel and do their, residency or citizenship there. Spain had it, but they don't have it anymore. They canceled it. Portugal had it. A lot of people went, and then because they had too much people coming, they closed them. They don't have Portugal golden visa anymore. I believe the only one left is Greece. That you can have a golden visa and a passport eventually if you buy property 250,000 and up. But you have to let your clients know that they can buy now, but they might end too. So those little things that people move, South Americans used to move to Spain a lot for immigration purposes. So they can get a golden visa for their family, and they do it through real estate.
So if you had an EU passport at Greece, because right now that's the one open, does that allow that passport to buy all over Europe without issues?
Once you have a passport, you're good, but some people buy it to get a passport.
Correct.
So, but if you already have it, you're good. You don't pay for it.
Okay.
The only thing is the financing that you get still struggling in the Europe. They used to finance in Spain at least.
Yep.
So I talked to one of the Spanish creditors lady. She said they used to finance to anybody with any income in Spain and in Europe. So now they just close the door. They're like, we're not financing anybody in Europe. You have to bring your money if you buy in Spain. So now that cut the sales because
Okay.
you're not financing your Spanish work.
That could be another topic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Another
So it's a
thing.
lot of immigration
Right,
nuances for by country, and I love learning that because I'm like, then you can compare country by, and then you can be like, don't go to Spain, go to Greece. But you can have those markets too, so
Yes.
maybe learning about Greece a little more will give you that, hey, you got a European passport, this is the only way right now. Maybe hopefully they open more, but no, that's it. So these are the things that South Americans wanna go to Spain to get that residency because there is some hostility in the country, it's very common. So you need to follow the patterns to be able to help them. And you can send a referral, for families from Guatemala and they wanna buy in Spain, now you know why they wanna buy. Sometimes we don't understand because we're like, we're fine, you guys have a US passport, we can go anywhere. But some people really need that transition and that goes to real estate. And that's a good, but it's a good benefit to know because then you can help them with that transition through real estate, with some commission out of that. So that's why immigration is so important in the pie of content, because without these, you leave something behind that they might need to know about, and sometimes I don't even know about, or you can find out by talking to realtors. And the property management, some places are easier than others, some places are hands off, like there's a property they're managing for you, but some places have some issues that you have a property and sometimes they will rent it without permission and make money on the side. So you have to be mindful of these nuances that we don't know much about, and it happens every day. So you're mindful to use some precaution for your clients. So you can tell your clients, hey, be mindful of this because at least you warn them. It's not like they didn't know, but you gotta know a little bit more about that so you can prepare them. Or you might hear, these things happen here. So make sure you have a strict contact with your property manager, or you don't use that one, you use this one, and then we have a list of property managers we work with in Riviera Maya, and a blacklist that we don't work with, because there's also a blacklist. Same thing with developers, there's a list that we work with, we can sell all of Riviera Maya, but we have 10% of the listings that we'll bid for, the rest are like, unfortunately, we don't recommend. Like that's a blacklist sometimes, because they don't finish, they don't turn in what they said they're gonna turn in, they give you half the amenities. It happened to one of our clients that she wanted Tulum because Tulum is hot, it's not anymore, so the Tulum market is in decline. I don't recommend that market right now, but a lot of people heard about Tulum 4 years ago, and they think it's trending still, but Tulum is slowed down quite a bit. There's not as many people going. And the last two deliveries that we had, that this lady bought because they had access to the beach, because the Tulum beach is very covered by resorts, so you cannot even get into the beach. So if you're buying Tulum for the beach, don't do it because there's no beach. You have to pay for it every single time. And it's very inconvenient for people who want to go to the beach every day, even the public beach is not close to. So you have to get paid to get in. So we are warning clients that all the time, like if you want beach access, go this here or here. Because otherwise you're gonna struggle and then you're gonna hate me all your life because I saw you something here that has no access to the beach. But it is next to the beach. So it's like, how can you not have access? So these are the things that we don't think about, and the realtor locally won't tell you because they want to make a commission. You have to be studying everything around it too. Because I go super honest and brutal, like don't buy there. And if somebody tells you to, is buy a discount or buy this instead, or it's already built. Because now we have the market is shifting, so now we are like, if you're gonna buy something, make sure it's ready. At least if you don't buy projects, pre-construction, no. There's certain ones, but it's not worth the price per square foot or meter that they're doing right now. So all these things that's when we go and do road trips, US and Canada, because many people are selling these areas without knowing, what, because it looks like a paradise, the pictures look nice, the renters look nice, I wanna live there too, but then you get there and you're like, okay, this is a hassle, I need a car for everything. So, and you don't have a car, and you have to buy a car, and support, the whole, you cannot buy a car if you're not a local. So it's all these little tiny things, because I have to go through it myself, and so when you go through the thing, you just don't understand it, you can't tell your client how painful it can be, certain little tiny things, as having a car, or if you don't wanna have a car, won't be there. So that's why property management, financial is super important too. It's connected to all real estate and relocation services. We have a partner that we work with, who we trust right now. We don't work with a huge list because we need to vet them. And unfortunately, we had a list of attorneys like this, it went like that. Because then, either they're informed, they don't do continuing education, or they just don't care. And they're too busy, and they don't have technology to reply to the messages, so we send clients and they don't answer. So it's a lot of things that you think that is, when you're a professional, you should do things professionally, and you're like, you're not ready for the same, professionalism. So relocation services, we have one right now that helps anywhere around the world, mostly in North America to other locations. And we can refer him to, you can work directly with them, we don't have any kickback or anything, it's more like, we trust him. That's it. And I only then when they know everything, they're like, okay, I can buy this too. So it's a lot, the journey in the international market is longer. So when you send a referral, expect 6 months to probably 24 months for it to close. So it's a slower pace, but if they're ready to go, they can close in 30 days. So we need to get them ready to go. I will give you the temperature of the client when we talk to them, at least for Mexico market for sure. We kind of know from A to Z everything Mexico related, or get informed as we go. And then we can guide them, what location, which neighborhood, and then also the access to things that, based on their lifestyle, what they want or need. So that's super important because when we think about it before they buy internationally, because it's not an easy decision to make. But that's what we cover in the podcast, so you can do the same with your market as well, to explain to international buyers how it works in the US, how it works in Dallas, how it works in planning. So very specific down to your location. Maybe go and all that. So yeah, that's it for me. We can go through the questions. This is just small fun stuff. And if you guys don't mind, but I have some comparables. If you guys want to look at it, we can go over YouTube. So where do you guys want to go?
Got any questions? Got a microphone. Steve, hang on.
Question?
Hey Natalie, when you go to a new country and you're gonna park there for a few weeks, a month or two, and you're gonna collaborate with realtors in that area, and you just saw from that last visual that you gave us all the different facets that go into learning that local market, right? Do you have like a list of questions, so to speak, that you meet one-on-one with those agents, or are you trying to like have a group come in and then just have a mastermind kind of thing? Can you tell me about all those different facets? How are you addressing that whole wheel
Sure.
of
I have a
information
list of
when you
questions.
go to a new country?
Sure. I have a list of questions. Let's see if I have it here. I probably can send it to you guys as well. That I go through because of it's very standard. Right? And I do both. This one actually. I can send you guys this. It's in Spanish and English. So I call it guidelines for research, market research. So I do like collecting data one-on-one, but it depends on your time, right? First, when we go to Peru, I give like let's go for coffee, anybody who wants to come, or let's do lunch, everybody who wants to come. And I put it in when there was workplace, like, hey, who's in this city at this time or this place that wants to get together? And then people will answer, I put an event together, simple one. Or we create a WhatsApp group and everybody comes in, and then we start a relationship, right? And then when we do let's say the lunch or what do you call it? Round table?
Coffee around table.
Yeah, and then we start talking about like, so how the market here, and then you get the take from everybody based on their city, and then you can be from then on who you want to do a one-on-one with, or all of them. or some of them.
Right.
And then I do one-on-ones. But to all of them, I ask the same questions, like what is the local laws, regulations, bank and currency exchange, what do I do with my rental income when I make it, if it's an investment property, or if it's just a lifestyle, no problem. What are the taxes, or if I move there, where do I declare my income? Closing fees is super important because it's not like here you can bundle that with your loan, that comes out of pocket. So that's something they have to budget for, $10,000-$20,000 only closing fees. So that's something they need to think about it because that's cash most of the time. And then the immigration part, I'll send you this. If you guys want to use the same, you can use it. It's English and Spanish. So you can do,
That'd be great.
I used to print it to give it out. But it's basic knowledge, and then I always ask the same question because then from there the conversation will go. And then from there you can go deeper on whatever you're interested in. And each realtor will tell you their different experience from their city, location, municipality, taxes, regulations that the government is helping or blocking. And then you can do that with the city, no, you need this one. And the other question was, so what I do is just connect with the network. Before I go, I can also do a meetup too. So we have a meetup group. So that expands the reach from EXP, right? You want to have realtors from everywhere to come so you can talk to them as well. And give them that importance one-on-one so they can connect with you and then you can be like, hey, you have the experience. Yeah, so I literally go one-on-one, reach out. Also BNI helps. I don't know if you guys are part of BNI as a network. BNI is like a chamber of commerce. And what I used BNI for was to join, you don't have to pay. But I was a member, and so I didn't have more time because you have to commit 2 hours a week to join the weekly meetings. And BNI has been very helpful for growth outside our network. So realtors from different places that you can work with. Business Network International is what it stands for. And what I like is that you can visit chapters as you're traveling. So I visited in Japan, India, Dubai, and I went there because I was a member, but you can invite yourself to each of the meetings. And for example, you get invited, you look for a city, and there's always a realtor in the chapter, always. Because that's the first chair that is taken. And BNI is like a round table too for different professionals. Only one person per profession. So only one attorney, real estate attorney, one broker, one real estate agent, one insurance person. So you have a round table of unique people that you want to work with anyways in the transaction. So you can talk to the title company, to the attorney, and that's where I go for the rest of the knowledge that I don't have with the realtors. So BNI is super helpful. Literally, you can register for any city you're going. I was a member, but you don't have to be a member to go to different locations. So BNI has been very helpful for talking to agents in Turkey that I've never been there, meaning like work-wise. And for like yourself, when you go to a meeting as a guest, you can have 60 seconds to introduce yourself, but you listen to all of them. They do an introduction for 60 seconds, so you know who you want to connect with after. And then, of course, I go with the attorney, the accountant, insurance, realtor for sure, and then you start a relationship as you're traveling. So it's super helpful, like every single day. Like at least if I'm on a trip for a week, I'll go to 1 or 2 meetings. And they happen every single day of the week, different times of the day, and happen every single week. So it's very consistent. So that's my favorite.
Any other questions? Questions over here? Questions over here?
My question would be,
Melissa's got a question.
are you going to tell us how we can generate, example, like leads from YouTube through Sell International?
Yeah, so we can go over the details. First, you have to have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I think
And I know
probably that-
tomorrow we will have more of that, but today kind of like,
Tease
little bit,
them today.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
like from Mike probably and from you.
yeah, you come tomorrow, we'll go over basics. Okay, how to get started, do your intro video, who you are. The intro video is this one here. Okay. That will be here for every single time somebody opens, they'll see this video. So probably that needs to be you talking about why they should stay in your channel, or they should subscribe to your channel. And this one is, hey, my name is Maritza, I'm from Dallas, Texas. And in this channel, you find a lot of information on how to buy, what neighborhoods I recommend, and what's the buying process. And then you do that video for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And then that way, when they watch the video, they're like, oh yeah, I want to subscribe. because I want that information. So that's kind of like your entry point of why they should follow you, or they should come back to your channel. After that, you have to do your playlists.
Oh.
Sometimes you don't need a playlist if you're starting, so no playlist is needed. You just need to focus on what topics you're gonna cover. And then we have a list I can share as well of the questions that you need to, the videos that you need to create, the basic ones, to start getting people to your channel. So, what is the cost of living in Plano? What are the taxes? How does the property taxes work? Is there any state tax or federal tax or whatever, And then there's a whole list of that you can go through. For example, the video that I told you guys about, this one, is just me very boringly explaining, but it has almost 5,000 views or more, and it's literally very dry data on comparables. Like this is what I was sharing with you guys about. So, and then we'll go over comparables. What are the areas? Because you think people know, but in the US it's easier. You pull from MLS, CMA, done. 2 minutes. This one took like 8 hours to this one and that one, and the developers give you the listings in a Google Drive. So good luck. You have to dissect the Google Drive. Okay, open that Google Drive. Then you get the renders.
ChatGPT.
The renders. Then you get and then now this is easier now with ChatGPT, but it was like 2 years ago, 1 year ago. Not ChatGPT yet. I mean, as active as it is now, or smart. So then you have to pull the price sheet and you have to pull the inventory availability. So it's a minimum of 3 different documents you have to merge, and it's only one developer. So times 14 is a lot of pulling the data. Is that thing. But then that's why people watch it, because they're like, you know what? I don't know. I'd rather watch half an hour of this than going through 14 drives.
Yes.
So it simplifies it. For us here, it's a bit easier, but you can also do this with CMAs and with manuals that we're using now, to replace ChatGPT. And this, of course, has been updated because the prices have gone up. The market in Mexico is very steady, so it's going up, but slowly. So it's not like, besides Tulum, we don't see a bubble in most areas. For the steps on what the questions will be, I have a list. I can share with you guys the list Mike and Vanya gave us on what videos to create to get started for your market. So it's you just put the name of the city in that topic, and you create your video for that specific city. And for lead generation, always have a call to action. I can have it at the beginning, but you always have to make sure that all your information is in here at the bottom. If you go to the description, and you guys can go to the channel and find any of our videos, and you can copy and paste this and put your links in case it's easier. So you don't have to come back, put it in thin air. Okay, good. Just copy all these, replace your phone number, replace your link, replace, and you got the.
Would you recommend when we're starting a new YouTube channel to create a few videos first, so that when you do go live, you have at least 10 or 12, some content on there?
No, just 3 or 4. Just 3 or 4. Maybe somebody. The thing is that if you get started, just start. So you have the pressure that each week you have to do something.
Yeah.
Because if you wait until you have 4, 5, 12 videos, you'll be like, okay, I'll start in 2026. And that would be. It's better if you just get it going. And of course, consistency is key. But if you don't start today, you will not. It's very hard to just get moving.
Yeah.
So
I think it's one video in there what Mike has, and he say, doesn't matter how your video is today, think about how you're going to be in 1 year. Because he showed us his video when he started. And he say, I don't want to see those videos anymore. But now he see himself now, and he has more 150 followers, I think. And he's teaching us, and we're growing because he's social media and YouTube. So that's what we need to think about ourselves. That's good.
yeah. No, seriously, when you start, you don't like your voice, you don't like your face, you're like, my graphics sucks. But you don't have to have flying things everywhere. So let's not overcomplicate it because I thought the same, but you know, that very slow video of me presenting, like, when I do sometimes in my reports, I put my Zoom, I talk to myself. So it's just me and my Zoom sharing my screen, recording that, and I want you do without any editing. I have 6,000 views for, just because people want need the content, because they always have to do the work to dive into all these little tiny things. So sometimes you think what you have to say might be so everybody knows about it, or it might not be important, but just say it, because maybe based on what you say it will relate to you specifically. You know, if it's in Spanish, if it's in English, if it's in Chinese, maybe narrow down, because there's a lot of content in English, but there's not that many content in Spanish, and I don't know if in Chinese or other languages or whatever, you know, if you speak Greek. Those channels are very niche and they grow faster because they're very niche. So don't think that you have to do it in English, and don't think it has to be like everybody knows about it, because some people don't know about it, especially in Spanish maybe. So then that's what we told Marisa, you should do your channel in Spanish for about Dallas, because maybe there are 100 videos in English for about Dallas, but there's only 5 in Spanish. So guess what? There's gonna go up in traffic. So call to action, description.
And one thing I would like to add is what Mike, I cannot say very well the last name, that's
Like
what
sure.
not sure, so that's why I don't. But he always say, forget that word, but he, like now, you know, I'm 45 years old. I have so many things in my head, so many chores, so many things to do. So sometimes we don't have time to think what I should say in the next video, what I should say. But with the cool things now about AI and how Vane, Natalie, Mike teach us, we create a whole content for the whole month. Even if we want to create for the whole year, we can do it. So in one day, you create your whole month. Because there is a Mana, Gamma, a ChatGPT, and they teaching us, and also you guys give us already the theme, right? The prompt.
Yes.
So we just copy and paste, and then put up, of course, our name and everything, and so create converts everything about us, and we just start doing our videos. So I love this AI. Even I'm older, but it's very cool. So thank you.
It's never too late to get started.
We got a question up here.
Okay, I have a question totally unrelated because the multilingual thing kind of triggered a struggle core of mine because we've been struggling with CRM because we wanted something to be in our home language because all our clients actually speak that language. So I wonder what do you do with your CRM? Is there a CRM that actually multilingual that uses your I think Spanish might be easier, but there might be one that actually has Spanish, but in Chinese we just can't find one. Especially the new choices we have right now. Do you actually know which one is more multilingual friendlier than the others?
Probably will vary by country. So if you want the US, maybe Daniel knows, but your content goes out in the language that you speak. So your newsletters can be in your language. So that the behind the scenes, the back end of the CRM does not matter too much for language because you speak English, so you can set it up. But your content out, newsletter, you know, YouTube, messages, can be in your own language. So unless the realtor that you work with does not speak any English, that will be a different story. But the back end, you manage that. The front end of the content that you push out can be in the language that you prefer. So you adjust that. You don't have to follow the English template. So just translate everything to, because right now, what are you doing with a CRM right now?
Nothing.
So maybe just having those reports out for your videos even to start. Because you will, English is good to learn it, but then when you share it, it can be your own personality, your own culture. Think of give your own examples of how this compares to that. So don't miss out on that, at least for your channel maybe, because I haven't seen any channel balance for real estate, you know, in Chinese. So that will make you like maybe probably the only person that might do it. And then you'll be, guess what, getting all that traffic organically.
Which CRM that you would choose for it to have a better connection with different languages, you know?
I
Which
like
one do you use?
I like a Go High Level. Go High Level, that's a CRM, a marketing CRM.
Oh, okay.
For the US, I don't sell in the US.
Oh,
So,
okay. see.
I used to have
Sorry.
Baby Core, and now there's two more that you can pick from. Probably,
Lofty and close.
yeah, maybe check one of those because I haven't used them, like to tell you.
Oh, okay.
But I use a different CRM that is mostly, because our listings in other countries are not connected to any MLS. We don't have that benefit.
Yeah, that's.
So we don't have that benefit unfortunately. But at the same time, you can translate the content or repurpose it. If you're doing newsletters out, it can be in any language you might want. If you're doing like a report, probably with AI now you can do anything. So instead of sending automated feeds to your clients, you can translate it with AI and send them things. And this is just an idea to go around it. But there's gonna be a way to play with, because everything auto translates. It's getting easier as we go with AI.
Any more questions?
Thank you.
Going once?
So you wanted to share this QR code?
Oh, this QR code is for the International Real Estate Group. What's up?
So you can scan that, you can scan that from the TVs, I believe.
Yeah, I can also do maybe I can do this too, if you like them.
I think it works, I think it works.
So this is, if you wanna join the group for the weekly calls.
Yeah, they're able to get it. They're able to get it.
This group is, we wanna have a call on the 31st to launch the call, to get some feedback from agents. People from Barcelona will be joining, that came to the conference, that already with international mindset. But the whole intention with this is to, if you wanna plug in, you can just choose when you come. If you see a country that is coming, that you wanna learn more about, you can join that call. You don't have to join weekly, you don't have to join at all, but at least you get notified on the real estate tours, on the new videos that we might have of, showcasing a specific country. And you can just, plug in for any new tools that you might launch. And you can invite other agents from different agencies here too. Because the whole idea is that you educate other agents so they can rely on you for this content. And then you can probably show them how they don't have that in their agency. So this is super helpful for us because it's been helping us do agent attraction.
All right, so we give her a hand. Come on. I just real quickly want to talk about build25dallas.com. That's where you can go, build25dallas.com. That is next, can you connect that more for me?
Yeah.
That is next Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to be an incredible event. I've been going to events like this for over 20 years. It radically changes the way I think about everything. If you haven't read The Magic of Thinking Big, it's like a first book you should always read if you're going to build a business or build anything of any value. In that book, it says study and watch leaders and ask them questions. And that's what I believe Build 25 Dallas is all about, is study. Like if you want, who in here would like to have 1,000 people on their team? Roche, Scribner, a bunch of us, TC. So if you want to have 1,000 people on your team, what you want to do is find out who at that event has 1,000 people on their team, study them, see the questions they ask, okay? Well, ask them questions. Here's a great question to ask a leader. Who impacted you? Who inspired you? What motivated you? What hell did you go through? What battle did you go through? What almost killed you? Okay, those are the things that you need to ask your leaders, because that's why they're successful. Because I guarantee everybody in here has been through hell in some way, shape, or form, right? So I'll ask people, tell me the one thing in your life that you've been through that you're like, man, I can't believe I went through that. Like everybody's got one, right? But then I'll say, write it down, and people have a tough time. But then I'll talk to you one-on-one, and you'll say, that one girl, her name was sort of M. She was a 2-time cancer survivor, and she was just letting that go. Like it was, I said, what? That should drive you. You shouldn't be here. 2-time cancer survivor. So what is it for you? Now maybe it's embarrassing. Maybe it's a DUI. Maybe it's a whatever it may be. Okay? But what's going to make you stronger and make you, what is it that's going to say, you know what? This is what I'm going to separate myself from right here. This is why I'm different, and this is why I'm going to be great. Okay? So make sure when you go next week, don't just go, TC, when people get like enamored with the people that have big teams, I want you to respect them. They earned your respect because they've done something you haven't done, but they're not like sitting up on a pedestal where they're kings or queens. Does that make sense? And they don't want you to act as that they're that way, but respect what they have done, and we respect what they have accomplished, okay? So please, get your tickets tonight. It's build25dallas.com. We have about 35,000 discount codes.
There's 3.
EXP, NTX, growth is another discount code. I sent you one. I didn't send you all of them.
Is that the biggest discount?
That's the
They're
biggest
all the
discount.
same.
No, I gave you the biggest discount. That comes straight from Brent Go. And in fact, if you use that discount, Brent's gonna give you money back. I probably shouldn't have said that online.
Brent's gonna be tapping into your Zelle account.
Brent can do whatever the hell he wants with my account. But listen to me. But get signed up now. Teresa, you signed up for next week?
I did.
You did? Good. You signed up for next week? Good job. Get signed up and do me a favor. Take someone with you. Do whatever you can do. Take one person with you. Don't give up saying, well, I haven't talked to enough people yet. Get one person to go with you, because that one person could radically change your life forever. Imagine it like this. Can I write on this? But imagine it like this. You find, who in here knows somebody, Ernesto, give me a name of someone that you've been wanting to, like, man, you wish they would join your team. Teresa, I'm gonna ask you the same questions. Get ready. Look alike. You're the batter's box. Give me one person. Everybody here, think about this. Name one person that you would love to be on your team. Jorge. What about you, Teresa? Give me one person. One name.
Well, she's so many. Carol.
One person. One person. Carol? Carol. Yes.
My friend Gloria.
Gloria. Okay. Tina. Huh?
Ben.
Ben. Okay. So do me a favor. Go to them and say, listen, I need you to hang out with me next week. Because when you hang around people that think differently than you, okay, that do things, that have done things that you haven't done, like growing a team of 1,000 people, all of a sudden you will become that person. I had 0 people when I went to my first deal, my first convention 20 years ago, 0 people. But then I went to the next one, and I went to the next one, and I went to the next one, and I sold that company with 2,000 people. Now I believe here I'm gonna get 10,000 people because of what EXP is, and really what Natalie just shared with us. Because you can do it with this group here. Because we have the power to do it, especially with, I call it co-sharing.
Co-sponsor.
Co-sponsoring, God bless you. But with co-sponsoring, we have the ability to do so much more. So what was the name of your person?
Gloria.
Gloria. So, it's Irma, right?
Yes.
Irma brings in Gloria, and then let's say, for example, let me y'all pay attention. Let's say Gloria has some connections in, where you work, Mexico. Has some connections in Mexico. Okay? Do you have connections in Mexico?
I do, all over the place.
Right now, say no. No. 99% of the people in this room would say no to that question. I asked the wrong person. Act like it's no. So, do you have connections in Mexico?
No.
Oh, thank you. TC, you got connections in Mexico?
Not yet.
Not yet. So the answer is no for 99% of us, Noel, but I just happen, I picked the wrong person.
How many times have you been in Mexico, Ton, for vacation?
Yeah.
Okay, now stay with me, stay with me. So, Gloria says, you know what? I would love to do business in Mexico. Well, Irma don't know how to do business in Mexico. You do, but you don't, right? So then you say, hey, I got a friend, Natalie, from Chicago. I know that sounds weird. She's not in Mexico, but I got a friend in Chicago that can help you. So what all do you got to do? You just got to invite her and insert Natalie in here. I can't spell to save my life. Did I get close? Okay. You got Natalie. I give people hope. Okay. So you got Natalie that comes in here and helps Gloria. And all you did was get her to go to build25dallas.com, and she shows up, right? And now your life is radically changed, and now you are building in Mexico a country you know nothing about. I know you do, but a country you know nothing about, I know nothing about, and now you are growing a global empire. How cool is that, Noel? You're from Chicago. You're from Green Bay. Where the hell are you from? I forget. Pittsburgh, same thing. So he's from Pittsburgh. He's got no connections in Mexico, but he's building an empire because he knew Gloria, say in this case, and Natalie's helping him build. And now you got to go find about 15 other people in Pittsburgh or wherever, and she is hooking you up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and all you got to do is tell Gloria, you got to do this, Gloria, because this will change Gloria's life and Natalie's life, right? Y'all with me? This is amazing. So do me a favor, please. Don't let up between now and next Wednesday. Because you're going to invite somebody that's going to go and is going to walk out of there with their hair on fire, freaked out, thinking, I can change my life forever. Because that was me 20 years ago. I went to an event. I was broke. My cars were being repossessed. My house was already in foreclosure. Everything was already being taken away. But I went to an event in Atlanta, Georgia. I was having panic attacks while I was there because I couldn't even feed myself while I was there. But I'm there and I'm watching speaker after speaker, and I'm like, in my head, can I cuss? Can I cuss? In my head, I'm going, holy shit, I'm going to get rich. I am broke. I got nothing. I can't feed my wife and my kids. But I'm sitting there in that chair watching person after person. You know why? Because they were no different than me. They weren't anything greater than me. Y'all with me? I was like, holy cow. So when you go see leaders, you're going to watch them, and I pray that you say, if he can do it, finish it.
So can I.
Okay, please, don't be in awe of these people like, oh my God. I watch people get up for pictures for some of these men. What are you doing? Ain't Jesus. What are you doing? Stop it. It's just a person. You respect them for what they've done. They've done something you haven't done. They earned your respect. However, I understand you should be saying in your head, not out loud. Don't go shake your hand and say, hey man, yo dude, I know you made it, but good God, if you did, I sure can. Don't do that, right? But I want you to say that inside your head, and I want you to say it to your heart, that you're going to achieve great things. And I want you to remember what I just asked you to remember. What has almost taken you out? Was it drugs? Was it a horrible father or horrible mother? What was it? Did you lose a child? Did you lose a sister? What was it? And remember that. Say, this is going to drive me and motivate me. And it's going to make me strong. It's going to make me powerful. Y'all with me? You know, do that for me? Don't give up between now and next week. Get one person there. Someone's going to say something from that stage, and your person's going to be crying. They have tears in their eyes. Maybe it's going to be you, Armin. Maybe you're like, because you sit there and you say to yourself, I'm not giving it my all. I can do more than this. I know I can. I know there's more inside of me. I swear there's more inside of me. But I've been holding back and hesitating. Y'all with me? I had to get that out real quick. So, but just think about that, because now Natalie is building your empire in Mexico. Can you speak Spanish, Noel? You got a tough time with English, don't you? Yeah, me too. I'm with you. They talk about multi-languages. I'm having a problem with one. You know? But it don't matter, because she can speak two. Or how many can you speak? Two? How many can you speak? Two? Got any threes in here? Brandon, you speak 3 languages? 2.5?
What's the
Screw in
other?
their hat to do it. You can speak 3? What can you speak? What 3?
Cantonese,
Cantonese? That's 1.
English, and Spanish.
English and Spanish. That's pretty good. What is Cantonese? What
Chinese.
Chinese? Okay. So now you can invite someone that might speak Cantonese, and she can help you grow. How cool is that? I mean, the model that we have here at EXP is like infinite. It just will last forever and ever and ever and ever. All you got to do is do what? Invite. God bless you. Invite people. That's it. Don't beg them. Don't beg them. Just invite them. Hey, you want to check it out? Cool, check it out. You don't like it? Cool. I didn't like it first either. You know, just relate to them somehow, some way. But let them go. Let them get out, and then you go find somebody else that wants to do it. I promise you. And then, because I recruit a lot of people, and I like to use the word recruit. I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm a recruiter. That's what I do. If I like you, I'm gonna try to recruit you. I love you. Sorry. You know, I'm not gonna like strong arm you into joining, But, you know, if I like you, I'm gonna try to recruit you and get you on my team. I love, next Monday, my call is gonna be, watch out for EXP, because all they do is recruit. That's gonna be the headline, right? That's Monday.
2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now.
No, this Monday.
Oh, Monday, sorry.
Yeah, it's Monday. That's gonna be my headline on my YouTube page, is watch out for EXP. But think about what that means when people, all y'all do is recruit. Okay, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the San Francisco 49ers, New England Patriots, Dallas Cowboys, the most winningest NFL Super Bowl teams, all they do is recruit. Am I right? They do. That's all they do is recruit. Why? Because they're trying to build a championship team. I'm trying to build a championship team. So I'm okay when they say all y'all do is recruit. You're damn right. I'm trying to build, I need like 10 more Irmas on my team. I need 10 more Teresas on my team. I need 10 more Tinas on my team. You know what I mean? I need 10 more Knowles on my team. Yeah, I'm trying to recruit. I'm trying to build a championship team. Who is it? You know what I mean? You know, well, I'm just trying to, you can't argue. You just shut up. Okay. Now we got it fired up. Yes. Oh my God, Teresa's got a question.
What was that discount that you said? I can't remember. What was that discount for the Build 25?
You can do growth. You can do EXP, NTX.
How
You can
much,
do,
you know?
how much is the, growth is the biggest one. Yeah, use growth. It's the biggest discount.
It's the same. Just do it.
Just do it, bro.
Just do it.
And if you do it in capital letters. it's a
Well,
big
I'm not
discount.
lying.
No, seriously, big capital letters,
Okay.
big discount. That's the Brent Gove discount. Brent Gove loves everybody. And hey, just go to meet Brent Gove. That dude, like, watch him. He'll barely have his cell phone. He connects with you. He looks right at your face and talks to you. He ain't stupid like me. I'm like,
So when I saw Ben Burrow, that was my thing. Like, if he can do it, there's no way we can't do it.
exactly.
That was that same thing.
What do you got, a history coach?
It was something.
History coach. What the hell is that? History teacher. Yeah. Okay, now they got me fired up. I'm adding words together. I'm not making sense. Thank y'all for being here. Next Wednesday, we are going to not be here. We're going to be in Frisco, Texas at the Hyatt Regency Inn. Be there, Frisco. Let's all sit beside each other, representing the Panda Pack. I got my shoes on. I'm going to wear these next week for Panda. Okay? If you got pandas, wear them next week for next week. Actually, I'm going to wear these when I speak on Thursday. I think I speak Thursday.
Okay.
So I'm going to wear these Thursday, not Wednesday. Huh?
As
long as you show up, I don't care what you wear. You can show up.
We have shirts. If you want to wear your We Partner shirt, we got plenty of shirts. Take them real quick.
Okay. I'll talk to your teenager. Charlie?
A little bit of both. I see Charlie, yes.
All right, so be there next week. We'll have a blast, represent the team. Are you speaking?
No, I'll be handling the AV stuff.
Okay. All right. Any questions about build25dallas.com? Build25dallas.com. Y'all can't forget this. I'm gonna say it one more time. Build25dallas.com. I'm like a radio station going out of business. Build25dallas.com. And the biggest discount code is growth with capital letters. Y'all with me? I'm sorry, I didn't give you the biggest discount. Use
It's
the growth.
okay. No, I got it.
Any questions? Anybody thinking about going, but you haven't got your ticket yet? Like you're leaning like, I really need to go. I really need to go. Raise your hand. It's like, I really need to go. You really need to go? Anybody else in here? Noel says he's really got to go. Ernesto, you going? You registered? Gabby, you registered? Okay. Bring him, please. Seriously, don't come without him. He's got to show up. Anybody just leaning like you about ready to go? We got it. We got everybody? Carolyn, you going? Check this out. You ready? Carolyn, when did you buy your tickets? Like right when they came out, she bought her tickets. No kidding. She was
You're
Early
speaking
bird.
there. I mean, that.
Okay. Love you guys. Go get yours. I'll get mine. Thank you. But seriously, I'm good.